Today I just want to show you a very simple way to use Semrush to identify what kind of content to produce, whether it's blog content or video content, short form content, etc. If you want to promote a product. So I am an affiliate of Apify, and what I do is I just enter the URL of the blog here. In this case, since it's on a subdomain, I enter blog.apify.com. And then so there's two ways to go about it. I can look at, and you can see they have a kind of nice growth here, but you can see that we can look at the keywords, and you can see that they're ranking for fantastic keywords. These are money keywords. And then I see this long list of keywords here, right? So web scraping, obviously a very high value keyword. This one, not really that valuable for them, I think. Free proxies, list crawling, data scraping, super valuable for them, right? And they are ranking here with these features, right? Features, okay. But here web scraping, they're ranking in the 6th position. And they are in the AI overview in Google for web scraping. So now I could just go through this entire list here and look for keywords that, inspire me to create content around. But then there is a lot of repetition in here. Like the further down I scroll, the more I will see variations of already existing keywords. So what I would really like here is really a way to, if you have a lot of time, then this is fine. If you want to go really nitty-gritty, then this is fine. But think about it. We're dealing with like 85 pages to go through here. And of course, the first 5 to 10 is really where most of the juice is. But still, in total, we are dealing with, what do we have here? More than 8,000 keywords, right? Now, one way to simplify this is to look at topics. And now it will do a topical analysis. So here's how it works. It looks at the well-performing and non-branded content. And that's important because, of course, anything that has the keyword Apify in it is going to be great, but here we want to take out the non-branded content. We don't want to take out the branded content to come up with topic ideas that are not the obvious product name, review, product name, blah, blah, blah keywords. And then Semrush will evaluate the data and categorize the keywords into topics. And as a result, you get a list of topics and related pages. And now in this case, you can see web scraping is absolutely the dominant topic that Apify has here. And then so this is web scraping, and you can see the average keyword difficulty in this topic cluster is 51%, huge volume, 1.89 million. It drives around 55,000 traffic. But then we have web scraper, and here the average keyword difficulty is 39%. So that's already easier. Of course, the volume is also much smaller, but still. Then we have AI web scraper, average keyword difficulty 41%. Here we have XPath contains. Now that's an interesting one. I wouldn't have guessed it, and it's much easier, 26% keyword difficulty. Best web crawler, okay, and then parse HTML, web rippers, web scraping tool, lead scraper. Lead scraper is a good one also. Keyword difficulty is still very doable, 31%. Of course, the volume much less. How to inspect element and change words in a picture, okay. HTML parser, okay. Develop, I'm not even sure what that is, and dynamic web page. And then they have more here. Platform-specific scraping. Okay, that's an interesting one. Scrape Zillow info, 24%. Now this is a golden keyword. Easy, decent volume. And this is people who are actually kind of looking for a solution and very likely to be willing to spend money. Scrape from finance, again, another great one. Google search results scraper, also a good one, 24%. Python Google Maps, no, I wouldn't go after this one. Amazon review scraper, that is a great keyword. Great keyword. People who are looking for this, they're willing to spend money because it's very much commercial intent. And it has a low keyword difficulty of 18%. I would definitely go after that. Blastdoor review scraper Python, 26%. Also a good one. Twitter scraper Python. Now these, when there's Python, it's very likely that these people are not necessarily so willing to spend money because they're probably a bit more technical and they have the capacity to scrape on their own without using a tool like Apify. But, if you want to get creative and you find a great opportunity, it could still be worth it. I would skip it for now. Scrape YouTube category results. Interesting one. And these are scraping TripAdvisor. Pure gold. Obviously, very little, but with keyword difficulty of 26. This is great. Best Google Maps scrape, Google Finance, Python, Pinterest API, etc. And you can see it gets really tiny here. Retail price monitoring, scraping Bing. Interesting. 20%. Still decent volume. Here we have Python. I would skip the entire thing. Because for the reason I mentioned already before, free proxies, yeah, I would skip that. It's not really the main thing Apify does. Web scraping, errors, and management. Yeah, probably also more for kind of more advanced scraping tools and techniques. Instant data scraper. Good. Pinecone, okay. Best lead scraping tools. Average keyword difficulty 26. Boom. Definitely want to go for that. If I crawl, yeah. So you get the idea. API data curl basic auth again, but too technical. I wouldn't assume that these people are very much willing data collection methods. Also here, I would skip that. And I have to say, this example here is actually a bad example to showcase this feature in Semrush, just because it's so heavy on the web scraping topic. Normally, it's kind of a more fragmented overview of the topics, and here, this is taking up so much space, and then these are all tiny squeezed in the corner, but still. And then here we see the top keywords for page for web scraping. If we click here, we see for web scraper, right? And this page is really winning here. AI web scraper. Best AI web scrapers. What was one of the keywords that I want to look at? One that's like gold. How was it? I think it. Yeah, let's take the Zillow one actually. So how to scrape Zillow, and then I would look at this, and you can see or describe Zillow data. Yeah, and then you can look at what this. I gotta say, it's a pretty good post, but you can then also look at. So for example, here Zillow API scrape Zillow info. I'm looking for something that is high volume. Easy scrape Zillow agents free. Zillow data scrape Zillow. So let's scrape a Python scraping. I mean, maybe we just go with scrape Zillow. And then we can look at what's ranking here. First one is Reddit, which is kind of dope because sometimes Reddit is a really great opportunity where you can just post a comment into something that's already ranking. And that can bring you, actually not just a backlink, but traffic. And then you have scraping dog. And here you can see the authority score for the page. Not high at all. So just the page. On page W, you have to look at the domain, of course, too. Scraping dog 34. It's pretty good, but again, very doable. It's not a hard one for the number 2 position here. They do have a lot of topical authority, so that's in their favor. And then you have a Chrome extension. Do you know how easy it is to build a Chrome extension nowadays? So this is gold. There we are. It was Epify, break the Descriptify. And the higher the number, the less interested typically I am in it. Unless it's something where I can build upon. So here, for example, I would definitely check out this YouTube video and see what they're doing. I'm not going to do that now in this video. But this could be another way. Basically, you take, the content from these and you kind of summarize it, rework it, restructure it, see how you can level it up, and then you turn it into a video, or you can create short form video, and you might get some of those rankings. Get Magical is an interesting one. Page authority pretty low. And the domain authority for Get Magical 44, okay? That Stack Overflow, again, you can go in there with a comment and get a backlink from that. And then Epify, interestingly, they're twice on the first page here in position 4 with the blog post and here in position 10 with the little scraper thing. And this is how you can, come up with content ideas for any given product and then already start developing a plan for how to tackle these ideas specifically. And here there's a lot of opportunities actually. The Zillow scraper, Reddit, easy go after it. YouTube, easy go after it. Stack Overflow, easy go after it. And then depending on, how relevant of a domain you have and how much domain authority it has, maybe throw in some backlinks. This is an attainable keyword, and it's very much something people are willing to spend money on. So I hope this was useful.